If I told you 8 minutes, here's Blackwell. No. If I told you 8 minutes into this game, Martinelli and Tanjay would not have scored. Not sure you would have believed it. And Martinelli ends that. Wow. Martinelli, 1 of 2 shooting so far in this game. Cheravino an open 3. Good rebound. Nicholson follow, no. Tapped up again. And that was
him off some dribble penetration.
Ty Berry hit 4 threes yesterday in the win against Minnesota. Martinelli trying to go to work. And he scores. He's got 6 points.
Wisconsin had an offensive lineman in that paint. I mean, they cleared the path for Tanjay.
See if that gets him going. Martinelli begging for it inside with McGee on him, and he takes advantage.
Man, good job. There's no hesitation whatsoever in this game right now.
The Pacers may need to go get Nolan Winter the way he shoots in this building.
That would be a good kid.
Martinelli scores.
Wisconsin content to keep the ball on the perimeter here.
Martinelli attacks in on Crowell and scores.
KJ Wyndham trying to find Martinelli and see if Martinelli can go quickly.
And it counts. He'll go to the line.
So Clayton handling the ball. He took his red shirt off in February. Barry drives to the hoop. Almost got his own rebound. And the first 2 for number 2, right?
46% from 3 on the year. You got to locate him. He's a big-time player.
First 2 times these teams played last month there, Robbie. And there was only one other player in double figures in the entire game, and that was Frank Mitchell.
Frank Mitchell's a guy that's really come along. Over these last 6 or 7 games, just a beast on the glass, and a guy that's making a lot of shots at a pretty high clip.
Martinelli 2 to shoot, tough shot, and he's got
maybe for you. Impacting this game as a rim protector early on. That's a great block to get back in that play.
They play a couple of big guys for Northwestern. They play Nicholson, who you see, he's the defender. And Luke Hunger will come in as well. Martinelli already with a couple of baskets. Nice spin move, and now he's got 3.
It's a reverse pivot and throw it back in there to Garcia. It's great awareness and great feel for where he was at on the floor.
It's easy to kind of panic a little bit and fire up a shot at that point. Oh, that's a goaltending. That'll be 4 baskets from Martinelli.
Early on, and make sure you can get underneath them.
I want to revisit something you said top of the game, Robbie. You said it would be a slower kind of pace. 17 possessions for both teams, not a single fast break.
This is being played in the half court, and no surprise, because that's what these teams have done all season long. Good cut.
Backdoor cut. He's not going to miss that.
They're trying to rotate a little bit too late. Brent Rigsby certainly playing with a lot of confidence the way he shot it 2 prior to Rutgers.
Martinelli pull up. That goes. He's got 12.
Make it a matchup they like. It's blood in the water.
Been shooting it well here recently. Made 4 in the last 6. Wyndham. Now 6 to shoot. Right back to Martinelli. Got Fox in the air. Off the glass. Finally, they get it to Martinelli. Quick first step, little floater. That is pretty.
But Garcia's just such a low possession game. The numbers are not going to be high.
Jump hook. Right back to Martinelli. And 1.
That's got to be a defense. Played great as well.
And Martinelli making a little statement today. He made a statement all season, but he's got 21 points already. Maybe inspired a little bit more by the fact that he only showed up there on that second team. Inside of 8 minutes now, the first game of 3 here at the Big Ten tournament. Minnesota led by 30 seconds in the first half.
That is so tough right there. That's
shots. Makes them both.
Dead net on the back rim.
Sometimes he misses so badly, he just comes back and goes in.
Easy to do right there.
But Martinelli has taken 10 more shots than Garcia.
They just haven't been able to generate him looks. And credit Northwestern, because they are throwing multiple defenders at him and just daring anyone else on the floor for the Gophers to make a play.
Martinelli, boy, just left wide open like that.
Collins has been excellent this year.
And Martinelli jumping up his average by 12 points. He and Trey Kaufman ran the most improved scorers in the Big Ten Conference. And that's been on display here today. He's got 25 points. Wyndham now with 8 to shoot. Trying to get it to Martinelli. There he is. And he's got 27 points.
He is awesome.
Maryland. The crowd five is who accounts for the majority of the scoring for this team. And Kevin Willard would tell you that their bench, guys like Jordan Geronimo and Deshaun Harris-Smith, do come in and provide impact. It's just not in the scoring column.
Northwestern looking real shaky against this pressure defense.
Martinelli off the screen. Leave it. Mullins thought about getting it inside for Nicholson. Can't get past Queen. 8 to shoot now. Wyndham is in the game. Trying to survey around. Circles. 2 to shoot. Dump it down for Martinelli. Incredibly well. It feels like they've gotten better and better from 3 as the season's gone on.
I agree, and I think that, we have to understand that Rodney Rice and Miguel did not play together until this season, but you wouldn't believe it. By Luke Hunger, sometimes you got to let those guys score because they just don't have the depth, especially up front if you're Northwestern.
More full court pressure from Maryland. Mullins will break it himself.
Good job by Justin Mullins being aggressive.
8 minutes gone by in this first half. Northwestern 5 of 10 to start. Maryland just 4 for 12, and yet it's a 1-point game. Angelo Cheravino, the freshman, is in there. Martinelli, another push shot. Leaves him on the bench. Miguel pump and drive into the paint. And the floater falls into the hands of Martinelli. Outlet goes to Wyndham, head up. The freshman coming off a 10-point performance. Martinelli strokes the 3. Western leads to the Rice J.
Oh, that's nice action.
Clayton rushes into the front court. It's a 12-2 Maryland run to take a 3-point lead, approaching 4 to play in the first half. Martinelli ripped through. Martinelli physical. Got it and one. Nick Martinelli.
Northwestern can pull off this upset on the road. Justin Mullins will have his name all over it.
Chance to tie or regain the lead here for Northwestern. Pocket pass Martinelli. Working against Queen. Bodies him up. Oh, that's clever. Sizzle.
Went right at Nicholson. Used the rim for protection. It's a beautiful finish.
His first bucket of the night makes it a 6-point Maryland lead on a 7-0 Terps run. Mullins on the outside. Nicholson looking for an outlet.
Deshaun Harris-Smith doing a fantastic job at denying Barry.
It's going to be Martinelli with 5 on the clock. Against Geronimo. Back down. Rip through for 2.
So good.
Maryland with 15 offensive rebounds. Northwestern with 22 total rebounds. Wyndham misses. There's an offensive board. Oh, nice. Quick spin by Martinelli.
Trying to run offense. When they're up in you like that, you got to make a play.
Owens late in the clock. Didn't hit the rim. Martinelli has the horn sound. The second one banks it in.
Yeah, Ty Berry guarding Daly in the post. That's not going to be advantageous for Northwestern. Good job by Daly powering through the pressure there.
Power forward on a shooting guard. Martinelli leans in, gets the roll, plus the foul. By the way, our mistake on the review on that shot clock play. The refs would have had to look at that right away. So it is still 11-11, turn 13.
Your aggressiveness will pick up a cheap one like that.
In the controls of Clayton. Been the starting point guard the last few weeks without Jalen Leach for the Wildcats. Out with an ACL injury for the year. Martinelli bangs in and slithers through the double team.
Got quite a long stretch of rest there with those 3 fouls.
Mara has half the offensive rebounds. Bilodeau has a couple more in 17 second chance points. The difference for UCLA. Tough hit.
He does the rest.
Seen a lot of that connection in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Northwestern chasing 12. Martinelli steps through a double.
Defensive possession to start for Northwestern, keeping the ball in front, not allowing Iowa to get any penetration to the paint.
The tempo watching Felwell against Clayton tonight. how they control the game will be so interesting at point guard.
Yes.
And Clayton with the ball in his hands here. As Northwestern used clock, there's the switch, and Martinelli, the Big Ten's leading scorer, on the board for going the two-star.
Yeah, you've got to do it here in the second half, especially Sanford.
He got Sanford a good look, and he airballed it.
That's an unusual occurrence for him.
Very, very unusual. Sanford, the guy that's possibly ticketed for the NBA. He's a knockdown shooter. This is his first look after some foul trouble in the first half. Barry slides it in. Tough catch, Martinelli, and it sits down for him.
Yeah, that's the Nick Martinelli
City earlier this year. Ball fake, out to Clayton. Heavy on the three. Nicholson secures another offensive rebound. Martinelli through more traffic.
It's a nice.
Might have to get you to a karaoke bar, right?
Let's go. You did actually
Just ahead of the under 4 7-point game. Northwestern with the ball in the lead. Long skip to Martinelli. Wyndham's had a big night. Gives up late in the shot clock. Martinelli leans in. Gets the foul.
touch the basketball. He's able to get them easier offensive looks. And anytime they don't, it's always a challenge shot.
Western usually methodical, are on this trip. Brought this game to a double-digit lead again with Martinelli.
Sprained ankle that he suffered against Ohio State last game. He hasn't done much the last few days, but he's going to be counting on toughness and adrenaline tonight. And here we go as Northwestern controls the opening 10.
You see this action right here, trying to get Ty Berry immediately open. Nice cover there by Odicali.
And Martinelli, baseline catch. Checking in for him is Fitzmaurice, Keenan Fitzmaurice, a 7-footer veteran big man wearing number 5.
Keenan Fitzmaurice has quickly become one of my favorite players in the conference, man. He plays hard, and he lets you know about it.
And Martinelli with a nice, Asima, nice crossover to the right hand, and can't get the finish.
Oh, that's a good look. I like the staggered screen off of the laid fast break to get Asima downhill.
Martinelli, too much space, and the southpaw
moves with his teammates beautiful.
An 8-0 Gophers run, and all of a sudden this crowd has come to life. 21 apiece were laced. Martinelli trying to break the time.
And icy hot on the knees. The old man a couple years away from his AARP card. Parker Fox didn't miss it.
I was going to let you keep going, partner. Martinelli on the curl. Yes, sir.
Right there. Matthew Nicholson, one of the better defensive bigs in the conference, but he could not defend that move.
And Martinelli, who had a couple of fouls in that first half, checks back into the start of this second half for Northwestern. Thought about a shot there. And now going to work on Garcia, who's defending. And Martinelli taking his time and gets the roll.
I love Nick Martinelli.
Knows he has to operate in a hurry. To the basket he goes. Can't find the shot. Martinelli scoops up the rebound and the foul. Will head to the line. Clayton, pull up. Left it short. Won't get the roll. Martinelli gets the board and the and one.
Forcing that foul on Parker Fox.
And Parker Fox will take a seat with his third foul as Frank Mitchell checks back in for him, and Mitchell is defending Nicholson. Martinelli to his right hand. Martinelli taking his time off the backboard. That's just what he does.
These Golden Gophers here. Great hustle and getting it to your big dog and Dawson Garcia.
18 points for Garcia.
Watch KJ Wyndham on this. Backside action.
Clayton back to Wyndham. Martinelli, too much space. What do they call that? Hand.
Leading scorer in the game. He's hot.
And Patterson tries to get the reversal. Can't hit. Hunger with the rebound.
You see Coach Collins slowing his guys down. Want them to be real careful here in the half-court set because they've done well scoring in the half-court Action.
Martinelli sets the screen on the roll, and one. He has been an and one machine.
Tough night against Michigan, but he's also been incredibly streaky. When he's made his first one, good things have happened for Ohio State.
He was just 2 for 11 in a 3-point loss to the Wolverines here on Sunday. This is Martinelli, who's one of the most unorthodox. Much harder for Northwestern to score without 2 of their 3 leading scorers. However, they have kept just about every game they've played in close.
The last 5 losses, none have been by more than 7 points. And it really is remarkable when you think about 31 points a game is sitting over there on the sideline. You've been there, and sure, like you're playing freshmen and guys that haven't played, but there have not been any games where Northwestern just rolled over. And I think Chris Collins has done a great job in that regard.
Taking the program to all 3 of their NCAA tournament appearances, back-to-back 20-win seasons going into this year.
There's no doubt he's the best coach in Northwestern history. It's not debatable.
Nick Martinelli, got to be tough.
Ball, tapping it to a teammate. I told you that Nick Martinelli was going to have 6 points. You think there's no way Northwestern can win this game. He's leading the Big Ten scoring.
He's got 8 now.
He does better. It's not a surprise that it doesn't go in. It's a contested mid-range shot, the hardest shot in basketball. Lowest percentage one.
Chris Collins was concerned with his perimeter defense going into this game, as Martinelli puts it in with England. Glover with the old-fashioned 3-point plays, first points of the night. Starting to get a little concerned about the time with a 25-point
25 with 9 to play, yeah. And Northwestern is very content to let this clock run down. They're going to use a lot of this 30-second shot clock.
Martinelli with the left hand. Parrish with the quick hands. Glover.
Good contest by Ty Berry. So you don't foul, you make him score over the top. Glenn Glover, one of the smaller guys on the floor. It's a big momentum shift. That looked like an easy basket that gets erased.
Now Northwestern setting up its 4-minute offense on the basketball court.
They're content to put this thing in the freezer and use plenty of clock.
Martinelli.
Longest droughts. Here's Williams with the shot clock winding down. He misses the 3. It's a rough first possession there for Nebraska.
Bryce Williams only 4 out of his last 16 from beyond the arc, but he's averaging 25 points per game over his last 5, so he's really evolved and become a star in this league.
There's Martinelli, Big Ten's leading scorer on the drive.
9 points per game over his last 5, and again, the second possession in a row where he takes a tough challenge shot. You just have to tip your hat to one of the best players in the league.
Martinelli right back at him, the Big Ten's 5 games, so Fred Hoiberg trying to get something going offensively off the Morgan miss. Now Clayton the other way for the Cats.
Well, that was a good play, just high pick and roll. They got the shot they wanted, just left it short.
Martinelli spinning in, goes to that floater, and inside Martinelli, that didn't go. Martinelli gets it back and puts it in. Another. Barry. One's off the mark. Offensive rebound again. Martinelli.
Another breakdown by Nebraska's defense.
Martinelli, the floater doesn't go, but he tips it back up and in. Part of the game.
That's from all that Balin hay. Stacking those barns 20 high.
Spoken by a man who would know.
He's been impressive. Playing with toughness and physicality. Wooster, the great offensive rebound. New life here for Nebraska over the last couple minutes.
There's Martinelli hanging in the air and gets it to go. Barry drops it inside. Nicholson missed the layup. Martinelli rolls it in. It's reminiscent of the USC game where the Trojans came all the way back and Northwestern figured out a way at the end with Nick Martinelli winning it. There's Wyndham. Now Martinelli. Spinning to that left, and he got it to go. Time today. (59-58). Martinelli On the baseline, the floater. Right. Okay, so 3-point game. Here comes Martinelli. On the drive, the layup goes. So back to a 1-point game.
And now 0-3 in February, but his over the last, 15 years, one of the elite in the country for winning games late.
70% of the games, essentially, from February 1st on. KJ Wyndham has come into the game for Northwestern. Now here's Martinelli. He's taken just one shot in this game, looking for his first basket, and here this year from Nebraska.
Nebraska just flew around. They were everywhere. They made it so tough on the Ducks to score, and then they took care of the basketball.
Martinelli.
He's really, their whole team is playing aggressive, but he's been the leader of that right from the get-go.
Pounding Clayton now. And so Martinelli gets free on the back door. Martinelli, it's been tough tonight. Can't find a way. Bats it off the rim. Back to himself. And the basket counts.
Open look. You know, if you're not shooting it, sometimes shot fake, get in the paint, make another play. It's tough as a player, but be good at what you are good at. Execute your role and take pride in it. It makes a big difference for a team and your success.
Martinelli, and he scores.
Guys to play late, and I was surprised. I mentioned earlier how well they played early. Some of the big wins, Alabama, Texas A&M, and I thought, man, they're going early. I did not think that would happen.
Martinelli finds his way and one.
Movement to back. Get it to your shot pocket and let it go. Good follow through. I talked about before. Great rotation on that basket.
Back to a 7-point Oregon lead.
There comes Martinelli, a little runner. Loose ball. Back in Martinelli's hands. He misses again and able to stick it through for his first bucket.
Points in the paint battle, 8-2. They have not shot the ball well from three. That's another opportunity for him. If he can make that, it makes him more dangerous, but he needs to attack.
Martinelli kind of throws that.
Finding his rhythm at the right time.
Martinelli left open for three, front iron, and it falls back to him. Fresh 20 seconds. He'll try it again, and this time knocks it down. They need a
job in that ball screen, stopping the ball at point of attack with Diallo, and then getting back in front of Osibor. Textbook from Fitzmaurice.
5 Husky turnovers since halftime, none for Northwestern. Martinelli trying to make something happen. Taking on Breidenbach, and it's off the glass and good.
When you play close games like that, and that late game score is crucial, he put it all on display in front of his pops and the 2000 national championship team.
Pretty special day in East Lansing. Martinelli into the paint. Left hand, he kind of just chucked it up there. And
up those rims, that's generally supposed to go the other way. Not getting the home court bounce, but again, another read over help from Northwestern. Second or third time, they've got lucky.
Jaravino with the ball up top.
Great job by Washington switching those cross screens. Don't allow Martinelli to catch any position, even though that is a mismatch.
They got 3 to shoot now. 2. Martinelli spin cycled, and he bullies it in again.
Northwestern with a chance to take the lead.
In the hands of Martinelli. He sizes up the 3, and he hits it. And Northwestern
right now.
Under 4 minutes to play, Northwestern trying to add to a 2-point lead.
Same action from Northwestern. This time Martinelli does a great job. Get the switch. You can't double there.
Mismatch here. Martinelli, after a couple of fakes, he bags another. 32 seconds to play. 4-point lead for the Huskies. Martinelli driving. Martinelli with a window, and he gets it.
Well executed. Hammer at.
There's the goaltend. You see it. But USC, they want to get downhill, and Northwestern has to stop the drives.
Martinelli inside looking for his first points, and what goes around comes around.
They're aggressive right now. They're playing hard, and they're getting all the loose balls. USC has to match that energy.
Well, Chris Collins told us, look, the only way that we're going to be able to win games here down the stretch is just to give fabulous effort. He said it to his guys today. It can't be for 30 minutes. It's got to be for 40. Martinelli, the big finish.
Position, and that's what Thomas is able to do there.
Here's Leach. Shot clock at 12. Now Martinelli. Martinelli off glass. There's Martinelli on the blocks. Gets it back and lays it in.
And another
16 points for Clark Slackert.
And he's kept the USC in the game.
Martinelli trying to answer it. He does. Martinelli doesn't get it to go, but tips it back up and in.
Wow. And then the drop for the pass. Stay solid on your principles.
Nice job there by Agee, though.
Great catch.
Controlling that one inside. Martinelli in on Nolan. Haley in the air and hitting.
If you're USC right here, you've got to lock up defensively because Northwestern are going to try to play slow now. ISO for Martinelli up the top.
Martinelli around the screen for Mullins, and he gets the floater to go. A lot of room for the Cats. Martinelli on the drive, flips it up, no, tips it up, yes. The loss to Rutgers with a hobbled Barnheiser, and then the loss to Wisconsin without Barnheiser.
You can see, defensively tonight, even Northwestern's been really good.
Cats able to break the press. Smith gets it to Mullins. Plenty of time, and Chris Collins telling his team to slow it up.
And they're just trapping from Smith right now. That's all they're doing is leaving him open. We saw USC do this against Michigan State a little bit.
Martinelli, whirling dervish and hits. Has not played a whole lot. Here's Martinelli. Game clock at 8. Martinelli. They run 2 at it. Martinelli through traffic, gets it to go.
Played down a little bit, I would say.
He's smarter than he looked.
Oh, heck yeah. I heard he took care of his money quite well when he was playing professionally.
Good for him. Well, there's a tough bucket there by Nick Martinelli. 7 turnovers for Wisconsin.
We talked about Jalen Leach having a big game last game against Rutgers. And without Brooks Barnheiser in the lineup, he's got to be one of the guys that steps up.
Martinelli, all 3 of these. 87% free throw shooter, a rare miss.
Martin McGee, one of these players that could easily get into the broadcast game after he's finished.
Martinelli drops it in the well.
John Tonje about halfway to his AARP card. One of the oldest guys in the Big Ten Conference. Smooth as the other side of the pillow.
He's scored half of Wisconsin's points today. Martinelli on Gilmore. In it goes.
He is so difficult. Got his ankle a little bit. He's hurting. He's trying to play through it.
Just gave a thumbs up over to Greg Gard in the Wisconsin bench. Martinelli off one leg.
In good position defensively to kind of discourage him.
Cheravino misses a tough look. Rebound finds Martinelli, and he puts it in, +1.
He left his hands that it was going to be short.
How's his game changed without Harper out there to draw attention?
That's a great question, Kevin, because what happens is Dylan Harper, we see Martinelli
to work before this game.
Ooh, good look.
And Somerville off the back iron used every bit of rim, but couldn't get it to drop.
Well, that was a sweet dime, though, by Ace Bailey.
7-0 Northwestern run.
Martinelli's figuring out, Kevin. They're not doubling him. He's going to be a problem along that baseline. Ace Bailey, that might get him going. It doesn't take much.
5 tonight for Bailey. Rutgers weathered an early storm. Now a 6-0 Scarlet Knights run ends on the
6 to shoot. Martinelli spinning inside to the rim, count it, and the foul.
With these freshmen, like you're saying, Harper and Bailey, this is their, only time around the Big Ten, but these 3 other freshmen, they're going to be something here with the Rutgers program.
Martinelli off a shot fake. He'll lean in for 2.
And I are still going to hit the glass, still send 5 guys. It's Humber Cow stat time. 6th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage.
Martinelli will try another 3, and this one goes. So
takes away confidence. Northwestern can't get into your set. You always have a set defense. But that left-handed hook pass by KJ, you only get that from Vilnius as Martinelli finally gets a pass.
Jonas comes up a little bit injured there, right? But a good start for Northwestern. You got to get a good possession here. Find the mismatch. There it is right there. Go to work if you're Nick Martinelli.
Martinelli backing his way down patiently and goes to the right hand. Somewhat
Northwestern got lucky. Jalen Leach has to kick that ball to Nick Martinelli in the corner again. That's the same as a turnover if you're Northwestern.
There's Martinelli on Jonas, and he gets the layup.
This is what
does not look dialed in any way, Jordan.
Yeah, they've had spurts, but then it's a little puzzling because they kind of go away from it when they do, as Martinelli knocks down a 3.
Holds his ground, and Martinelli can't hit. Hunger, the offensive rebound. Here's Sheravino out of the corner. That's short. He tracks it down, though. Gets it back to Martinelli, who lays it in.
A little
points that is 1 shy of his high end in a Illini uniform.
Kylan Boswell with the downhill attack. Every action in Illinois has to be guarded. Every one is a scoring opportunity. Great read by Boswell.
Barry drops it off now for Martinelli, trying to maneuver inside, and he does.
This game. Jalen Leach stops at the elbow. Up top, Martinelli lines up the 3 and knocks it down.
Rebounds in total in that game up in Ann Arbor.
But right now on the bench, and Malik Renew on the floor for the first time in 5 games for Indiana. We'll see how that right knee holds. He has been practicing, but Mike Whitson said lightly, not a full practice over the last few days.
This is a tough game for him to come back and have to guard Martinelli and Barnheiser out there on the perimeter. We'll see how that knee is moving and how he's moving laterally.
Martinelli right to the rim. He should have a pass
early on. Got to his right jump hook. That's a shot he can make. Knock Nicholson back. Just doesn't go.
Okay, so what adjustments do you expect to see on this side?
I think the ball needs to move from side to side, and you're going to need Jalen Leach to give you something. We saw how good he can be at Michigan. There's a clear out for Martinelli. What a physical take. Kenzie Mbako needed a wide open one, and he got it.
It had been a string of 18 straight misses from distance for Mbako before that make. Maybe that'll get him going. Martinelli, bully ball over there at the scorer's table. Martinelli lines it up, knocks it down.
Obama, you can't be out there contesting the 3. IU going to a lot of that spread pick and roll. We'll see how Northwestern can cover it with the skill on the floor on the perimeter.
Quick correction, they got that foul on Luke Goody, and that's his 3rd, so it wasn't on Renew. Martinelli right to the rim.
Great.
Martinelli trying to add to it. Threw up an air ball. Kicked out to Barry. Tapped back home by Martinelli.
That one around the horn. Donaldson got Nicholson in the air and hits the 3 off the mark, and the rebound Martinelli.
Another challenge for Northwestern. This big Michigan team, 5th in the country in size, 3rd in the conference in rebounding. Northwestern at the bottom.
There's Martinelli, leaner at the foul line, and Northwestern.
In my first ever Big Ten game, got to talk to Dusty May, and he was super impressive. Another miss there for Michigan, but I thought Michigan was going to be a great team. I wasn't quite sure, but Dusty May has done an incredible job turning this team over and coaching these guys up. Turnovers are down as well.
Already more wins, more conference wins than they had all of last year, and we're in mid-January.
Yeah, he's training these guys to be pros, to be men. It's really, really impressive.
Shot clock to 9. Martinelli in the corner with the deep 2.
Just love the coach. He does everything. He plays hard. He knocks down shots. He ain't 7 foot,
He's about 6'9", and he's strong. It was 7-2, 7-1 on the boards when he checked in. It's 8-8 now.
And a strange 5-0 run. Not exactly done the normal way. Martinelli trying to snap it, and he does with that floater.
That's another thing.
Again, he averages a double-double. Not surprising. Golden has it pop out of his hands, throws it back into play, and it pinballs into the hands of Ty Berry. Third turnover for Michigan.
Northwestern has to be a little more opportunistic. Golden turned the ball over. Danny Wolf was under the rim. You had Barnheiser attacking at 6'6". He's got to attack the rim there.
Here's Leach. Kicks it into the corner. Driving baseline. The floater drops, and Martinelli.
Looking here in this second half. Could have dropped it to Golden. Elects to take the shot, knowing Golden would have had the offensive rebound most likely. That's a tough turnaround.
6-0 burst for the lead for Michigan. Martinelli from deep will answer that.
1-point lead right now for Maryland. See that pressure, shot clock is off. Northwestern can play for the final shot of the half if they choose. So Barnheiser's going to do that.
Watch Martinelli get a pass here. Barnheiser's going to get downhill, but watch Martinelli. Kapari's going to go help.
Barnheiser into the paint. Leans in, knocked away. Martinelli's got it. Northwestern's got the lead at the half. It didn't look pretty.
He's looking around like there's no one else to look around at. You got to get the ball.
And Queen's got 4 turnovers in the game now. Inside look, Martinelli with the right hand this time.
Excuse me. Caught different.
16 on the shot clock. This league is a bear, and you talk to everybody, there are no nights off.
No. Not even Washington Huskies. And I think many people may look at their record and think that way, but not that way.
How about Martinelli? And a miss. First miss of the night for Maryland.
Yeah, but Maryland's in good position here. Remember what Jeff said at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Maryland's only trailed twice at half, and they've won both of those games.
Barnheiser kicks Martinelli. Just inside the elbow, knocks down the jumper.
But they were screaming.
Martinelli bleeding in, and finally some help, so a reset. I wonder how gassed these guys are. They've been on the floor all night.
Leach has got to make a play.
Martinelli, one to shoot, leans in, tie game. The inbounder. Martinelli in the middle of the bunch.
Ooh, they missed Ty Berry.
So Martinelli for the win. Oh. Martinelli with a catch, they'll review it.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to walk that same path, brother.
So here we go. Spartans and Wildcats, and the tip controlled by Northwestern. Jalen Leach will bring it up the floor.
And what you'll see, Gus, neither team really utilizes three-point line to their advantage. This is where they make their inside the arc.
7-footer, 245. Been playing some solid basketball in his first season in East Lansing.
Well, excellent high-low from Jackson Kohler, kind of a misdirection play to get Tabawa inside and open.
Barry, he'll feed. Martinelli, nice lob inside. Nicholson can't hold on. Ball skirts around, picked up. Martinelli again, jump hook with the left hand. That's his shot.
Their business school. They got some good dental
school.
to be able to get him right in as soon as he got back to practice the next day.
Martinelli, Barnheiser, back to Martinelli. There's that floater again, and it's good.
Transition, the thing you do it as a coach, you put your team through the repetitions of being comfortable and confident. When you're open, you shoot the ball in 2 possessions. Michigan State able to knock in some big-time threes.
Martinelli and knocks it down. Now Tom Izzo is from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Not far from Green Bay. So he's a Packers fan when they're not playing the Lions. Just to let you know. Martinelli tracks it down. Good drive. Dip. And it hits. Wow. That's Spartans on offense. Holloman. Drives baseline. Better pump. Short. Leach. baseline. Martinelli count.
Thank you. Quick offense, get it up.
Fears not in. Richardson curling down the lane. Left hand off the glass. No. Batted around. Picked up by Leach. Long outlet pass. Martinelli galloping into the front court. Now backs his man down. He's got Holloman. Mismatch. Splits the D. Up and plus.
Hands equally, and that would make him a lot tougher to defend, being able to utilize both sides of the court.
He's got 11 points, leading Michigan State in scoring. Average is 10 a game. Meanwhile, Northwestern.
I'm glad Nick Martinelli did not jump. I think he read the scouting report.
Dillion, who spent the last year and a half at Tennessee before transferring over to Penn State. And easy two on the other. Stolen away by Barnheiser. Leach with the three. That's off the mark. Brought down by Barnheiser. He slips a pass over to Martinelli. Johnson able to hit. Full court pressure put on by Penn State. Johnson on the ball. Here comes Dunn for the trap. Martinelli trying to run away from it, and he's able to escape.
But now you got 15 on the shot clock, so what can Northwestern do?
Nicholson, nice pass. Martinelli with the finish. Tough shot.
He talked about manufacturing points. I didn't. Kind of a reverse pivot into a jumper. It's a tough make. You can see why Freddie Dillion originally went to Tennessee out of high school. Extremely skilled, athletic, and good length guard position.
Wyndham with it. 7 on the shot clock. Gives it up. Martinelli now. Martinelli finds the difference going from the A-10 to the Big Ten. And his first thing out of his mouth was that physicality. Just how guys are bigger, stronger in the Big Ten.
Yep.
And he's been able to adjust to it.
Ty Berry back in the game. See what he can give Northwestern.
Martinelli attack. Martinelli with the roll.
And they are bound and determined to get over that 30-point mark.
Mullins misses another three. Berry the offensive rebound. Martinelli, his patented left-handed floater. 6 turnovers now for Northeastern. Just noteworthy given the lead that they have. Into the corner for Martinelli. That's a three-pointer.
Team Brooks Barnheiser when he gets the basketball, because if they don't, he's going to sit there and pick you apart.
Martinelli turns and rolls that one in the well.
Advantage of this guy.
Waga's first bucket of the day.
Oh, good screen by Luke Hunger. I think Justin Mullins wasn't looking at Ty Berry. Would have gotten a layup had he had his head up.
Martinelli hooks it to Barnheiser. 3 on the shot clock. Martinelli puts it in.
I don't know. Maybe he just lost his balance. Tough break for the Huskies.
Waga still in the game. Guarding Martinelli here. 8 on the shot clock. Martinelli in his eye. Leach triggers. Here goes Martinelli. so good with the left hand.
Yeah, he's just unorthodox.
Shot clock. They're going to switch. St. John's had some luck switching on DePaul. They switched Matt Nicholson on. He got by him. Didn't draw the foul, but he got the hoop.
That was an 89-61 loss for DePaul against St. John's in the Big East matchup. Kind of had their spirits broken early in that one, so you know they'll come out with fire today. Martinelli works on that move so much after practice. Mark, that time from Jacob Meyer.
Good contest, made him shoot a rush three.
Patient, poised, composed.
He has those little hooks, but he's been able to score out on the court. And here again, active defense.
How about the deflections early on? Martinelli again, easy do. Through 7 minutes of this game.
And there's that three ball. You hit a couple of those things, and all of a sudden that 20-2 lead is cut very quickly.
Justin Mullins is checked in for Northwestern. Martinelli perusing around the screens. They work on this so much, and you see it.
They feel like he's playing stronger, but he's got to do what he does. I think that's so important.
Get his Martinelli for some more flipperdoodles.
Yeah.
Down low. Here we go. Right on cue. Right on cue.
Here we go. We got booty ball here.
Time?
Lefty hook.
It is.
Easy two. And then making the kick out for the three.
Trying to answer back was Leachy. Had a good start to the game. Tapped out to Martinelli. Moving into the paint and finishing.
Shot, steals, and assists. And he does a little bit of all those things. And teams can use that kind of player.
Absolutely. Could definitely be on the verge of another Big Ten all-defensive team this year. Northwestern shooting 50% from the field today. They've got 50 points. Martinelli, just the patience, and he loves those rolls. It takes game. Enright does go 2 for 2. And like you said, DePaul starting to bring the press here.
Yeah, even have booty ball bringing the ball up the court.
Do we see a flipper doodle down the stretch?
I think they would like one to go in, that's for sure. Get the mismatch now. Martinelli got on the ball screen switch.
They wanted the mismatch and got the one they were looking for.
With that offhand, and he's so good in the paint.
Good press break from Northwestern inside at 2.5.
Now they'll use the clock, get it down to see, get that last shot of the shot clock.
Martinelli will float it up. Did he call glass that time? Barry did well to cut Enright off on the baseline. Really phenomenal defense.
Good defensive. Stayed strong. Didn't reach in, used his body, got Enright to fall down and get the steal.
It's one thing DePaul's turnovers have been up over the last few games. Creeping in at the wrong time there. Martinelli, what a spin. Oh, he got it to go.
18.7 points per game as Nicholson wins the tip in Northwestern's offense. This is a very methodical offense. They're not shooting a bunch of threes and a lot of back to the basketball for Chris Collins and the Wildcats.
Yeah, they have to play like this, Jeff, with a lack of depth in terms of bodies and in terms of offense.
Martinelli right out of the shoot, pops a three. A lot of back to the basket. There's a three from Martinelli. Leach with the block on the first shot of the game for Georgia Tech.
Oh, I love this matchup here. Thought Martinelli gave it up a little bit too soon.
Nice feed. Martinelli with the left hand, good.
And forcing a three-point look after several seconds to have evaporate on the shot clock.
Martinelli, he knocks it down. Stick with what's called on the floor. Leach falling away, no good. Hunger taps it out to Barnheiser in a fresh 20.
Barnheiser likes this matchup.
Survey inside Martinelli. Two-man game.
Yeah, that's differently than what everybody else is trying to do.
Another turnover up ahead. Martinelli running the break. Martinelli. Clear end. Good English from Lance Terry.
I really like his game, Jeff. I mean, he attacks the rim
like few others that I've seen in this early season.
You saw him go up top and get a block on Barnhizer on the defensive side.
Martinelli getting a chance to work against Mutombo. See if we get a finger wag.
There goes Martinelli in double figures.
Does a good job of catching and assessing what's going on. Not rushed at all. Keeps his left shoulder on Nicholson to create that space.
Martinelli again. He's starting to
from 12 feet.
Nicholson off the inbound from Leach. Needs a little help. Everybody denying. Finally finds Martinelli. Martinelli, an 0 for 4 start. That'll break the spell. Nice spin. You don't. The fake drives inside. The dish into the corner. Riley's 3. Pinballs out. Martinelli to board. No push. A little help from Nicholson. That leaner rolls home.
That's the toughest shot he's. And 16 of their 27 points coming to the paint.
Yeah, they made a concerted effort, especially early in that first half, to get the ball inside. And they did a better job controlling turnovers. The first 6 minutes they had 4, only 1 in the last 14. And a good start to the second half. 31-28. Illinois by 3. Martinelli will step back for 3. We're tied at 31.
And that's more than the king of waffles.
Crown him already.
Yeah. LeBron suing him for trademark infringement.
Exactly. Northwestern's missed their last 7 shots. But a nice dump down to Martinelli. Good two-man game.
A little crawfish play by a freshman who's a big-time scorer. Really good pass.
Where will the Cats find some offense? Down by 10 at home. Martinelli trying to provide it. Leaning inside, he gets 2. Not easy to do against those little guys underneath. And again, this end of the floor, Northwestern needs something. Good drop off, the spin, and the finish.
I like it. You put Martinelli in space.
House trailing on the play. Yakachonis in transition. That 3 will not go. And Northwestern fortunate there.
Really good rim run. Trey White getting that shot for Yakachonis. He ran the floor really hard. Defense had to go with him.
Northwestern area bucket in over 3 minutes. Couple of long droughts in this one. Martinelli, 9 to shoot. Spins baseline. Gets on the run. Got the roll.
Need their 3 best players to be terrific all season long. Hey, Visic wasn't ready for that. Nicholson got a real head start on that jump ball.
Leach will start it for Northwestern. Leach tonight with 12. Martinelli going to work against Yakachonis. Into the paint, leans in and got the roll.
He just is so comfortable. Matthew Nicholson closing down the boards here in overtime.
8 rebounds now for Nicholson. 1 point. Wildcat lead. Martinelli spins baseline on Humrickhouse to the rim for 2. 62-59, the largest lead of the game. Remember, any fouls, it's still 1-1. Here's Martinelli, 24 tonight. He'll launch a 3, and he hits! Oh!
And tripled his production this year. Quickly up to the basket. A nice feed inside, and he couldn't convert. Leach transfer from Fairfield back up top to Barnhizer, averaging 20 points per in his 4 games back.
Tell you what, Brock Hardy, as well as he's been playing lately, he wants that one back.
Hey, how about the game on Martin?
And if you're open and you got that skill set, and let it fly like that.
Sanford, Freeman got a piece of it. Martinelli with the rebound. He made the 1-3, and every other shot is missed so far. Nice spin move inside, and he has both Northwestern baskets.
To back down with 3 or 4 dribbles, he's going to get to the rim.
Inside a minute left. Wildcats have made 5 straight shots. Still, they trail by 13. Martinelli going to work. That's hard to defend. Sanford. And Iowa turns it over.
Boy, Northwestern is so fortunate in that possession.
Martinelli open lane. Northwestern
head crowd.
Harding makes the play.
So Barry's got to understand, now they're under 15 seconds on this possession. Got to make something happen here.
Barnheiser's been the man in the second half. Barry inside. Martinelli. A creepy field first here in the Big Ten. Floater. Nicholson tips it up. Got it back. Martinelli. Northwestern first conference game. Back and forth we go here in the second half. Martinelli. Iowa ready to double team. There it is. Now he's back to one-on-one, and he takes advantage.
That's an attempt to take ample time each possession.
19 points, 6 boards for Barnheiser. Martinelli, back-to-back buckets, and 3 ties.
Where is Josh Dix right now?
Sanford said, here I am, just missed on the 3. Barnheiser flirting with a double-double, and he's more than happy to slow it down. 2:30 left, and his side leading by 4.
Josh Dix has got to get activated on the offensive end for Iowa. It can't be all Peyton Sanford, because he's having to work on the defensive end like this.
Martinelli going to work in the lane again.
The problem yesterday as well.
And Northwestern early in the game, too. 5 points off those turnovers already. All 5 of their points.
Last night, Mississippi State capitalized in a big way as well. First action for KJ Wyndham. True freshman gave Chris Collins great minutes off the bench last night. Mullins is on as well as Barnheiser finds Martinelli underneath, and he flips it up and in. Good sign. Dipping down towards 2 to go opening half. Martinelli off the bounce in the lane. Sherry got a piece. Martinelli took it back and scores with a foul. And maybe that'll get him.
Transfer just 6 minutes. Picked up those 3 fouls. He's another weapon on the offensive end of the floor for Northwestern.
Here he is off the bounce. Kicking out for Martinelli. He can shoot the 3, and he drills one right there. Now 9 for 14 this season.
You can say that, and I was wrong, but
UNLV feels like must-stop territory now.
The issue for UNLV is just there's going to be such few possessions because Northwestern's just going to take their time.
Martinelli's got to hoist it, and he hits as the shot clock
by Northwestern. They elect again to double the post. Much better with their rotations coming out of the post double. But Telfer, that's a difficult shot. Good offense beats good defense sometimes.
Came in as the 9th leading scorer in the Big East, 15 a game. Martinelli looking for his first points. Backs down on Brooks, and there they are. Northwestern a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Leach for Hunger. Down low, Martinelli works on McCaffrey and scores. Will be shooting. And the double bonus as well. Nicholson for Barnheiser. They have Martinelli open down low, and he scores easily against Brooks.
Nicholson there. Always had his eyes on the play. Can be easy for a big man down low to get locked into his one-on-one matchup. He stayed really aware of the play as it was unfolding.
Martinelli pulls up just inside the arc, and he hits. Bethea. 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Barnheiser right in the middle of that passing lane. Doesn't have the numbers. He finds that extra pass. One more outside for Martinelli. Got it.
For Northwestern's defense, it has to be said for Pepperdine's offense. You see how much Mo Odom means to this team. Since he came off with the foul trouble, they have just not looked the same. Not as free-flowing offensively.
Barnheiser stepping in. Bounce pass to Martinelli. Got the bucket.
Just need Odom back on the floor. If I'm Coach Hill and I'm really considering getting him back in, I would have considered it a couple minutes ago, really.
Martinelli goes up with the left. He's got... Had to back out. Major step back 3, well short. Mullins corrals that rebound. Barnheiser pushing the pace, finds Martinelli. Nearly automatic. 3 on the shot clock. He stumbles and hits Cheravino. He throws one up, no good. Offensive rebound for Martinelli in the left.
He's going to do that and look to do that all game long, and it's because of the angles that he creates with his wide shoulders.
He came out swinging in that game you called when they played Wisconsin to begin the year, as Martinelli with an winning that. Martinelli got it back again. We've said that a couple of times already. Nicholson. You tuned in late. Brooks Barnhizer back today for Northwestern, making a season debut. All Big Ten preseason player, all Big Ten defensive team last year. Really the heart and soul, the leadership of this team. He has 5 points already. Down low he goes to get controllables.
On defense, you can control all of that. Offensively, yeah, there's going to be some stuff you got to work through because Brooks it's his first game back.
Brooks Barnhizer, again, as Ryan mentioned, making a season debut today. Martinelli, they're going to look for him to control the controllables. Barnhizer had to take the first half in his own hands at certain points.
You see him kind of pull that back of the knee, something to watch over the next couple of minutes.
Martinelli, that left hook that he worked on after. Everett Washington native. He and Walker have both been really good today for the Bobcats. Martinelli got his own board, floats it up, able to hit.
He's got a little bit of a jab right into his shot.
Trading buckets, maybe some foreshadowing of what we'll continue to see down the road here. 8-0 run for Montana State. Berry, nice pass. Martinelli in trouble. Goes up, got himself out of trouble.
Their threes. That's 8 of them now in the game for him.
How do you stop Mullins from getting to his spot? He just gets there so easily.
They went under that screen. You can either continue to fight over the top or you can switch it. It's a tough spot, though. He's really crafty at doing it. Talking about crafty, he's going to be because you get the under 4 timeout. That's a good substitution.
Agbankpolo got the switch on Leach. Agbankpolo, he can really defend 1 through 5, though. Martinelli against the smaller Miller. Back to Leach, quick first step. Martinelli's soft left-handed floater.
Practice, but both are available. Corner 3 for Griffin, too long. The sophomore played a lot as a freshman before he was injured in January last year. And now Jalen Leach, who's one of the newcomers, has it up top. He'll run the offense. He'll share the duties with Wyndham, who has it now. Good feed down low to Mickelson, and he will go across the lane and find Mark 5, and we're still tied.
That was something that Northwestern struggled against UIC with, is sending the ball to the ball screen. They got refused a ton against UIC, especially in that second half.
Good pin down low and an easy 2 for Northwestern, gathering some momentum. Martinelli is back in the game. Barry just hit a triple right side, misses left side. Nicholson with the offensive rebound. Martinelli cutting. Flips it up, in, and 1. Down to 5. Stapleton's going to have to make something happen. Step back, slams off the backboard. And under 2 minutes to go, Northwestern has some momentum again. Here's Mullins, who's been effective in the first half. Hands it off to Martinelli, who drops it home.
Everything out and making Eastern Illinois stay on the perimeter.
Northwestern has scored the last 6. He was down to a 2-point game. Just over a minute to play in the first half. Martinelli, double, triple, still gets it up and still scores. Not trail, but it was tied 3 times in the first half. Triple try for Leach, no good. Rebound tapped into the corner. Nicholson is there to hustle and get it. Martinelli going to work. Oh, nice lean in, and that will roll home. 13.
2 straight for Reeves, and it's a 12-2 UIC run on the road. Cheravino, good start for him through 2 games. Can Northwestern find something on this possession? Does Martinelli just need to get it himself here? Just to stem the tide, he does. Tapped in, really good second effort there from Sasha Siani. That Siani-Nicholson matchup is one to watch down low with the 2 big fellas. Martinelli, 2 points so far. Give him 5 after that three.
Just 17 points on the season. He's a guy that can get hot and get hot in a hurry.
Northwestern coming off the loss to a really good Dayton team out of the A10. Picked to potentially win that conference, either first or second. Most people have them. So that was a tough test on the road. And not an easy test today either against this UIC team. Martinelli goes up strong.
On the season. Good pass in the cold ball at the room for 2.
Scoball is a guy amidst all the new faces for UIC, is a guy who's played 4 years in the Flames program. Native of Serbia. Pull up, Martinelli. Got the pretty left-handed. Big Ten doesn't phase you too much.
Oh, 100%.
Like you said, that's the era of the transfer portal. And you can bring in that kind of experience very quickly to change a culture around.
Yeah, because once was a time you get a new coach in a Rob Eson, and it take 3-4 years for him to get his guys in and get the culture where he wanted to get. Martinelli with a nice
drive. Barry went down.
Good help. Good help. Really good defense from Northwestern. Help him recover.
You can tell Leach is starting to feel it a bit. Barry had his moments in the first half. Still plenty of time to operate. They do like to operate in this half court. Martinelli got it. Yeah, that could have been an and one, but it isn't. It'll still count as 3, though, for Freeman to make it a 5-point game.
That's his deal. Can't give him that much space. You can't overhelp when you're guarding Freeman. Got to stunt and get back.
Martinelli twirling in the paint now.
Ty Berry's too good of a player to turn that basketball over. You can't make that cross-court pass against this full-court pressure. You got to be solid. No jump passes. Come to a complete stop. And then someone's got to come and help him. You can't run away from the ball handler.
8-1 UIC run to make it a 7-point game. 6.5 to go. Step back, Martinelli, big shot. Big to roll back to a single-digit game.
Jackson just forcing the issue. Getting to the basket, not settling, taking the physicality, bumping and grinding and getting there. Going up for 2.
Bringing that backcourt pressure that Northwestern worked on trying to break at shoot-around earlier today. Slowing things down here. Nice turn to the corner by Wyndham and able to find Martinelli. After bringing in the subs and knew they wanted to bring in Siani for that. Here's the backcourt pressure now. It's a 17-9 advantage for UIC since Matt Nicholson left the game.
UIC just got to be solid here. Defend without fouling and rebound the basketball. Got to end this possession with a rebound.
6-0 UIC run, and it's a quick one over the last 30 seconds to pull within 4. Martinelli, the jab, the drive, floats it up, count it, an answer of an and one.
Leach from downtown, his first team all MAC, the Metro Athletic, and that's where those guys are. But still, they got a lot left in the cupboard.
They do, and it's kind of a flip with Dayton. Last year, Deron Holmes, everything ran through Deron Holmes, understandably. But this year, their strength is the perimeter. They've got guards that can get out in transition. They can turn you over. So they have to speed this game up and play faster.
Penetration from Mullins, and that is Martinelli's
last several possessions, so Dayton just needs to figure out ways to put the ball in the basket on the other end.
Mamusa missing on the 3. He's a freshman from Qatar. Martinelli, that's his game. That is his bread.
Yeah, just a much welcome sign to see Malachi Smith knock down an open shot. Because what happens is Malachi's strength is getting downhill, but if you've got to respect him knocking down open shots, and he becomes much harder to guard because he wants to get to that lane, make plays for others.
A game he's really excited about. Last season was injured right at the beginning of game number 1. Of course, game 2 was against Northwestern. Same story here again, but Malachi Smith is healthy. Bennett trying to draw a foul. Martinelli works around and books 10 points, 6 assists in his first game as a Wildcat. As Sheravino, excellent help, and they're going to get an easy one from it as Martinelli. Wildcats perfect on their last 4 shots. Will it be 5? Hunger? No. Rebound Martinelli, and he's getting close. Man there and coming to Northwestern. He's been able to do some things that have never been done for his squad in purple. And Martinelli, ice cold. Santos, how'd that go in? had it stripped, got it back, and threw it off the square.
I like the action. Okay, get a post touch for Zed Key, but good vision. And Nate Santos just didn't stand still waiting for a spot up three. He cut to the basket. Zed found him cutting to the rim. Athletic finish for Santos.
First flyer in double figures. Nate Santos 11 points. Leach trying to work his way inside through a wild pass that was picked up by Wyndham. Martinelli, another three. Closed out the first half.
Huge make by Nate Santos. And again, once he made that first one in the first half, man, he thinks he can get hot. Right now he's cooking, shooting with confidence. No hesitation in that shot. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Well, he's ice cold in the season opener, but he's red hot right now. 3 of 4 from downtown for the former Pitt Panther. He was outstanding a year ago. Martinelli, excellent cut and finish. Is on a run.
And it'll be interesting to see how long Dayton goes with this group, because there's a lot of veterans on the bench. You don't want to get him in right now while we're on defense. He wants Dayton to get a stop. Try to get him in when Dayton has an offensive possession. Just try to save him from the potential 5th foul.
4 minutes to play, 4-point game. Dayton on a 15-1 run. Northwestern has not scored in over 4 minutes. Martinelli trying to change that. Yes.
Tough.
And he's had a nice night. Another double-figure evening for Zed Key with 11.
Yeah, big pickup for the Flyers to get Zed Key. He's
last 3 years at pace, 54th in the country a season ago.
We were talking yesterday at practice. It was such a guard-driven squad last year. You said maybe some more points in the paint for Northwestern this year.
Yeah, I mean, they relied heavily on the pick-and-roll action with Drew Bowie. Understandably so, when you have a guy that's so good in ball screen actions. There's going to be a lot more off-ball movement from Northwestern.
This is what Martinelli does. Get down in the lane, and that is in his back. Knosman, good cutting inside, and the defense from the 7-footer. And here comes Leach once again. They'd rather be a little more deliberate than run. They'll take advantage, though, when they can. Martinelli just had 2, and there's 3. Tommy Conniff comes in for the very first time. Wyndham, Barry missed the final 11 games last year. Has really only been full speed for about a month after the knee surgery at the end of last year. Hunger back inside to Martinelli. They have not figured him out yet.
Well, I think it was guard play, obviously, and I think this is a resilient bunch. I mean, the game that I called the semifinal game, they were down 20 points at Boston University, a 2 seed, came back and won that game in overtime. So even though this early lead is going for Northwestern, you see Martinelli,
who has 7 points. Got Northwestern shooting the lights out, getting a lot of good looks inside. It's not like they're knocking down a lot of tough shots with hands in their face. Like that one right there. Martinelli already has 12.
That's
there are 2 freshmen on the court right now to go along with the veterans for Chris Collins. There's the other big guy we were talking about, the 7-footer Nicholson. Tried to free up Martinelli, and they just haven't been able to stop him inside. In conference, all the way up to first team last year. Try a little full court press. They haven't really done much to get in the way and slow down Northwestern game. Started out in a lot of man-to-man, tried some zone as well.
I would like to see a little bit more ball pressure from Lehigh. Just challenge KJ Wyndham a little bit, Jalen Leach, and see what they do with that ball pressure.
Looking to double team Martinelli. Good movement out to Sheravino. Martinelli 3, having a night.
Playing so far back, and 2 previous possessions where he knocked it down. We see Martinelli get the steal. He was able to knock down the mid-range shot.
And that puts him over 20 points tied. Yep. If, like you said, if you do finish strong, you at least get on the bus, you get on the plane with something that felt good the last time you stepped off the court.
Yeah, and I think the same thing goes for Northwestern as well. I mean, you want to finish this game off, and then they have a date with Dayton. Martinelli again, just unstoppable